Hey everybody, hopefully you're well. AutoCAD, let's go. I'm gonna open AutoCAD down here, 2025. It's opening on the screen beside me, so I'll pull it over in just a sec. There you go. So we opened it up, and I got lots of old drawings. You don't. I'm gonna go to new. It's just down here. I'm not gonna browse the templates. Just go to new. Should look something like this. If it looks a little bit different, let me know. First thing we'll do is we'll type in units. We gotta make sure these units are set up properly. So you do not want decimal. You want architectural. Precision set to 1/256. What the heck? Just for accuracy. Decimal degrees, not the biggest deal in the world, but maybe set it to 2. Insertion scale is units, that's okay too. That means whenever we insert something, it'll always convert that thing into units. So this is important right here. Architectural is really, really important. And then I'll hit OK. The first thing we want to do is we want to draw your site. So if we go up here, this is called the ribbon. All these things up here, I don't know what they're called, but we'll deal with them later. We'll start up here with the ribbon first of all, and we'll hit line. Down here at the bottom, this is called the command prompt. So whenever there's any instructions, they'll be down here at this command prompt. So right now it's giving you instructions. It says specify the first point. Doesn't really matter where I start. I'm just going to pull it in this direction. Now when you're pulling it across, it should be snapping somewhat to lines. If you want it to snap more accurately, you can turn on your ortho, which is right here. That means it's going to be straight. You can also hit function F8. So the first one I'm going to type in is 110 feet. Now that's going to go way, way, way off screen. So I'm going to zoom with my cursor and just roll in and out. So if I use the roller ball on my mouse, I said my cursor on my mouse, and then I can hold the wheel, and that will pan around a little bit. So the very first thing I did here was I drew a line that was 110. You can imagine the other line I'm going to draw here. I want it to snap to this end point. So the way I can do that is I can type in O snap. Just type it in, then hit enter. And this box here will pop up. I want to make sure this box is selected to endpoint, midpoint. I can turn off center. I want the intersection. I don't need nodes. I don't want the extension. Perpendicular is good. Nearest. No, I don't think I need nearest. I might turn that on later. I need endpoint and intersection and perpendicular. Those are really, really helpful for now. So I'm going to go redraw this line. It should snap to this endpoint. I don't know why it's not snapping to it. Is my O snap on? Function F3. Oh, there, my O snap wasn't on. How do I? Oh, the O snap is right here. I can click that, or I can hit function F3, as you see. To turn ortho on and off, I can click right here, or I can hit function F8. And those are ways I can turn those things on and off. So I'm going to use the line command. I'm going to draw. I'm going to pull it up in this direction, and you guessed it, 40 feet. I'm going to draw this line again. I could copy these, but I'm going to draw them again, 110 feet. And this time I'm going to go down 40 feet. Should make, oops, went 40 inches. Should make a perfect square. 40 feet. Feet is the first dash. Inches is this. Inches is 2 dashes, like the quote. So we're just going to do 40 feet and hit enter. There we go. So this is our site. I'm going to move it. So when you're selecting something and you click from right to left, it's going to make this box, which has a hidden line, and it'll this time see it's touching that line, so it'll select it. When I go from right to left, I click. I don't hold it like this. I just click, and it'll select this green box that's hidden. If I go this direction, it only selects totally what's inside of it. So see that line there just lit up. When I'm like this, it selects nothing. But if I want to select just that line there, I usually select things like this. When I'm doing select, I usually go from right to left, and if it touches it, it selects it, or I can just click like this and just click to select the things that I want to select. In this case, why did I want to select that? Oh, I want to move it a little bit. So I'm going to go from left to right, and I'm going to move this thing. Oops, didn't select that one for some strange reason. Oh, it's because it's too far. Oh, did something wrong. I'm just going to fix it up here just real quick. Made a small little thing here. I'm going to open up my properties box. I'll bring that up in just a sec. This thing here is 100 feet long, so I'm actually going to make it 10 feet. This one's actually correct. I'm just doing some stuff this thing now is 40 feet. I'll look at my properties box. This thing over here is called a properties box. I like to have it up just off to the side. I can move it around by grabbing this black line, or I can dock it. I can dock it right there if I want. I prefer to have it kind of sitting loose like this, and I can kind of move this thing around. The properties box is helpful because it tells you what properties some things are. So if I select this line, it'll say that line's 110 feet long and it's 180 degrees. That's what I want. I want to know that that's 110, and I want to know this is 40. There we go. It's at 90 degrees, so I know those lines are straight. I'm going to move this a little bit. I want to get it away from that little cursor. I don't really like that thing. I'm going to do function F8, turn off my ortho. There, so now it's away from that UCS icon. I can actually probably turn that off, actually. UCS icon off. I don't like it. I'm going to turn it off. So you can turn your UCS icon off if you like. I just typed in UCS icon and then clicked off. So right now, yeah, this is our site. So again, the way we did that is I'll go line. I'll do it quicker this time. I'm going to turn from F8. I'm going to turn ortho back on. 110 feet. Go up 40 feet. There we go. Now what I can do, instead of recopying those lines, I can just offset them. So the offset command is right here. Is that it there? There it is. There's offset. So whenever you hover over a button, it'll give you a little instruction, but if you just leave it hover, it'll get bigger and give you more instructions on what that is. So again, when you select a command like offset, it'll say specify the distance. I want to offset this thing 40 feet, and I want to grab this and offset it 40 feet. Now I want to take this one and offset it 110 feet. So offset 110 feet, and just move that thing over to there. So you can see we just did the same thing that we did previously. Now I'm going to erase it. The erase command is here. I select the command, I select the thing, and I hit enter. There are three ways to hit enter. They are spacebar, right click, or the actual enter key. So if I go offset and then say I type in 100 feet for fun, I can then hit enter, which is enter key, spacebar, or for me it's right click. For now, just go enter key and spacebar. That should work out well for you. You can set up your right click in just a little bit. So now I want to put in my setbacks. So I'm going to go offset. The keyboard shortcut command for offset is O. So I'm just going to hit O, and then I'm going to offset 4 feet, and I'm going to offset this. I also want to offset this one 4 feet. The one from the rear, I want to offset 5 feet. There we are. This is all of your bylaw stuff right there. So now I know that I can draw my project somewhere in here. The other thing I want to do now is I want to use, let's use the polyline command. Polyline, that's here. So I want to draw, say, some version of a house. We've talked about, oh, actually, let me do this first. Let me offset. I'm using O for offset. I'm going to offset 12 feet from this property line to here. So now I know that I can't go in this area, and also this car park area is 20 feet. So if I offset 20 feet, I'm going to take this line and offset to here. So I'm parking a car in this area right here. I know that. There's another command. I actually don't want this line and this line. I want to get rid of those. So I'm going to hit fillet. Fillet is here. So I'm going to hit fillet. I'm going to click this line and then click this line, and it gets rid of that extra junk. I now know that I'm parking a car right here. If I use the props, that is 20 feet long and 12 feet wide. I know that because I just offset them. So I now know my house, my backyard suite, can go in here somewhere. We've talked about this in class, about how big this thing actually is. So let's use the polyline. 33.5 feet by 24 feet. You can also do something else. This is now one solid line. So if I offset this, if I offset it, say 5 feet just for fun, it's going to offset the whole thing. I actually don't want that anymore. So maybe a polyline isn't a very good command for you. Polyline keeps all of your lines connected. I'm not going to do that one yet. I'm going to maybe try the rectangle. So if I just click here and I pull and I go 33 foot 6, I never have to hit inches. It always defaults to inches. And I go comma 24 feet. It's going to go over 33 foot 6 to the right and up 24 feet up. So let's grab this, move it into place, just snap it right there. There you go. And you can see that that is how big my house can actually be. So in AutoCAD, we've learned to start doing that. We've learned how to use the line command. We learned polyline. We learned rectangle. We learned the move command. The move command, I'll do it again, is you use the command, you select this, and you hit enter, and then it'll say specify a base point. So you just click anywhere, and you can just start moving it. If it's moving in a straight line, that's because this ortho is on. You can turn that off, and then you can just turn it on. What I do like is I like to have this one here on. I like to have that one right there. That's called, I forget what it's called, but it'll snap to a lot of different directions. It'll snap to 90 and 180. So I actually use that one instead of ortho now. You can see this is our site plan, and that's a pretty good first day of AutoCAD. So what'd you learn? We learned units. Make sure our units are set to architectural. We learned how to draw a line. We learned about the command prompt down here. We learned about polyline, how to draw a rectangle. We learned how to move. We learned how to use offset. And we used how to use the properties box. Let me see if there's anything else I want to teach you. We learned how to use erase. Erase is here. Keyboard shortcut is E for erase. If you ever want to do something, say I draw a line, this is just a basic command, but say I draw that and I don't like it, I can just hit Control Z and it'll undo that. So Control Z will continue to undo each previous command. Control Y is redo. So if I'm like, actually I quite like that, I can just hit Control Y. I taught you fillet, but I want to teach you two other things as well. So there's, if I have a couple of lines drawn like this, one command that we can learn here is the extend command. If I want to take this line to here, I can just use extend. Where is it? So under trim, it's under that. See that little down arrow? Extend does this. And I'll say select the object. I can hit this one, hit enter, and then select the second object. Enter again is enter, spacebar, or for me it's right click. So again, I'll do that again. I'm going to hit Control Z. To use extend, I hit extend, select the object I want to extend to, hit enter, and then extend that object. If the object is, I can also use grip. See how I selected it, grabbed that grip and just pulled it? You can do that too. That's kind of sloppy, but the opposite of extend is trim. So you know that we could use the fillet command here, right? You know that we can select this, and that will work. If you use fillet and you select it too high, watch what happens if you select it way up here and way back here. Oh, it actually did work. Sometimes that works a little bit different. It'll go the opposite direction. The other command we want to use is trim. So trim is under extend. There's trim. And I see if I haven't used this in a while. Let me see. I usually just select both objects, hit enter, and then get rid of the stuff that I don't want. Yeah, that's how it worked. So again, trim, select both objects, hit enter, get rid of the stuff that you don't want. So that's a pretty good start. Can you start drawing your floor plan in AutoCAD? Can you draw your rectangular bedroom space, which is 10 feet, 12 feet? Can you draw a bathroom, which is 8 feet, 5 feet? Enter. Can you move those? Can you select this and go to that end and move it like that? Can you maybe build a 2-bedroom? Select, grab that corner, move it to there. Can you maybe do something like that? I'll have to see. The last thing I want to teach you is the measure command. That's right up here. So I don't want to do I do want to do a quick measure. Actually, no, I don't. I want to hit the down arrow and do distance. I like distance here so I can see how long is that house. That house is now 28 feet long. So, and how wide is this house? This house is now 12 feet long. So I can see how that thing starts to work, and I can take those boxes that I created on my graph paper and maybe start to draw them in AutoCAD a little bit, maybe make them slightly more accurate. Hope that helps. I had fun making this. Hope you enjoy watching it. Peace.